Chris, you're up.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
Chris.
morning.
Well, quick things. So I got a date on the roof project for the archive building, old jail.
Okay,
And they'll start April 22nd and it should go till May 3rd.
That's good.
That is good. Yeah, they were saying June before I originally talked
Yeah.
to him, and he gave me a call back, and with the check being sent fast, and everything, he was able to get scheduled in April, so it's
Good.
really good. We're happy with that. The other thing I gotta do with that, I'm working on getting a work permit from the city, so I'm starting that process this week, and we'll get that done, get that cleared. The only other thing we've moved most of the boxes, about archives almost empty. We have like 40-ish boxes left on the side of the walls, but all the middle shelving and all the back walls are all at the site in Swanville. Kept them organized, and everything. So we're getting there. We're almost there on that one.
excellent, well done.
Yeah, and been talking with Eric from DA, and whenever they're ready, we'll help them move, because I know they're still consolidating a lot of boxes and stuff, so we're on the ready for that too. Our basement, we're getting that organized, and everything that we need out of there, so we're getting there.
Good,
We're getting
good.
pretty close. Rodney's done really good work helping out and everything, so. And the last thing I have, just to make sure, because I wasn't quite clear, in the co-op building, they have a bad outlet. Rodney knows how to change it, but I don't know what
In the what building?
the cooperative extension, the
Okay,
co-op, sorry, I call
okay.
it co-op. There's an outlet there that needs to be changed, and I didn't know if he was allowed to, or if we should.
Yeah, I don't like, why not? It's an outlet.
It's the outlet itself too, not just the cover. It is the outlet, but he knows how to do it, and I just wanted to ask to make sure, because I know there's sometimes we don't want to mess with things like that, but I just wanted to make sure. Save us money, instead of calling an electrician to get out.
I was gonna say, it's just an outlet. I wouldn't have a
Yeah.
problem.
No,
No,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let him know. And that's all.
thank you for asking.
yeah.
Yeah, of course. No, yeah, I don't, I know Keith had said before, you know, you have to be careful with electricity and stuff.
Yeah, oh,
But
certainly.
whereas it's just an outlet, I figured,
Yeah,
I just wanted to ask to make sure.
yeah, no, absolutely. How you making out with all the ice?
I was here yesterday for 4 hours. I was doing that. Had to use an edger, a tool to get the ice up, and I did the best I could to get everything up.
Oh, you can't get and it hasn't warmed up enough to.
Yeah, and but I think I did a pretty good job, I think. The only
Looks
part
good.
I'm worried about is back here on the Colonial Theater side of the Super Court. Because I know that that side's not being used, so I left that. But that was straight ice, and I could not get up with a shovel, so Rodney and I salted the heck out of it. He salted again this morning. We're trying to work on it as best we can, but it's just solid ice,
Yeah.
so we're whittling it down as best we can.
No,
But
doing a good job, right?
yeah, we here yesterday, at least it was sunny yesterday. I can't complain, and I was here just,
No water damage retaining anywhere.
nope, none
No.
that I was aware of. Never got any phone calls in my rounds. Everything seemed fine.
Good.
So
good.
just had to shovel and break up some ice.
Yeah.
Yes, thankfully. And even with the powers out, I made sure all the generators work great. Oil we're still great on, so everything is still green. So
Appreciate it.
that's all I have today.
Good.
Appreciate
Right.
you and.
Good, Chris,
Thank you.
Of course, thank you guys.
thank you much.
If you have a minute to fit Eric Harvey.
Yes.
in, he's got to get back. Let me grab him real quick. Yes, he's all. Oh, great, okay.
Morning, Eric.
Good morning.
Folks.
Good morning.
Thanks for seeing me a few minutes early. I just want to give you a quick update. It's not much, but things are moving along pretty well over next door. Files, Lori Craig has been awesome because she has the knowledge of what she's looking at.
Yep.
And she can recognize criminal records and SBIs, triple Is, which don't mean much to you folks, but in destroying records, that's a good thing.
Right.
So she's been able to do things way quicker than anyone else we probably could have hired. So that's going really very well.
How many boxes is she been able to do?
You know, my last count was, it's over 100 anyway, of
Wow.
destroyed and gone.
Wow.
So that's awesome from 650.
Yeah, wow.
So, and then we put up some storage units, some shelving units. Chris and Rodney moved a couple good shelves that we had over to our office space at the courthouse. So I think I'm gonna move about 100 boxes over there that we can scan and use our office over there to work out of as well.
Oh, with the new,
Yeah,
the state
Yeah.
building.
in the future.
Yep.
It may not be something we do right away, but at least it's temporary storage in a place that someone can go if they have time to work on, and it won't be in our space. And then we're gonna take our oldest records to the garden, stuff that we're not as concerned with, that may take longer to get to. So that's progressing very well. As we speak, one of the reasons I wanted to get in earlier, I have a company tearing apart our rolling file cabinet that's in my office.
Mhm.
That's pretty technical to tear down and put back together.
Yeah,
So they're working on that.
and they're gonna put it up at your new office.
They're gonna put it up there today, in that file room out back. It's not completed, but I asked the contractors to get it primed. So the wall's ready for the unit to be installed. So I'm gonna go back and help them. WB Mason is a little bit behind on our furnishings because some of the special orders. But other than that, I feel like we're in a pretty good place right now.
Well done.
So, yeah.
Now, what do you have Laurel work on? Like the oldest records or the newest records? How do you determine?
So things have changed a little bit over the years. So it used to be, the definition between the separation of district court versus superior court. Obviously, this building at one point. Now it's almost like a combined type of thing. It is and it isn't. But so we kept our records very separate. We had distinct district court files, which are mostly misdemeanor offenses.
Yeah.
Which are things that we could dispose of after, some of them 6 years, some of them 10 years. So I had her go through most of our district court boxes, which was really quick and easy to do. I shouldn't say easy, but it was
Right.
a lot quicker. So now we've reached a point where things are gonna start slowing down. To the superior court records, the felony cases, the serious crimes, things of that nature. And then we'll get into some scanning. But I felt the best use of her time with her recognition of what records can go, was to purge hard and fast.
Yep.
Because one day I had her scan and it took all day to do like 3 boxes.
Yeah,
And this just isn't a good use of our time right now.
yeah,
So,
that's awesome though.
yeah,
That's
but
awesome.
it's going well and it's been kind of all hands on deck. Everybody's helping a little bit, but Lori's been very valuable.
Super.
I think more so than if we tried to, certainly more so,
Oh,
if
gosh,
we
yeah,
tried to
you
hire
would've had to
someone.
train and
Right.
everything else. Yeah.
And it would have monopolized the rest of the office's time trying
Yeah.
to train her. So,
Oh, no, perfect.
and, yes, Montel unit filing cabinet is what's being moved.
It's all good news this morning.
Yep.
Fred.
Yeah, thanks. And then, the only other question I did have, I don't remember, I'm sure it's documented. So it was 28 hours a week for 6 weeks, but Lori's only able to do like 16 or so. When do I have to stop using her? Is it the 6 weeks or the hours or,
I think we should evaluate it 6 weeks. What
Yeah.
do you think?
okay, because we're closing in on that. So, I'll come back and check with you folks when we reach that point. But, so, we're hard at it, packing bags and so.
Sounds
Man,
good, Chris. Eric, excuse me.
All right, thank you.
thank you very much.
Have a good day.
Thanks, you too.
Jason, they're in the house. Good morning.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Good, you?
Good.
Good. Survived the storm?
Yes, sir.
Good, good. Working on the DA's office move, getting everything lined up there. I've got Consolidated scheduled to disconnect and move the phone lines the first of the month, as well as move one of their internet lines over the first of the month and disconnect the other. They have 2 internet connections over there, one just for their general internet and one that goes back to the state DA office. So we have to move one, but then we disconnect one. So we'll be saving on that every month.
But will it be 2 lines at the new location?
Just removing one. They'll be using the existing one that we have up there for the sheriff's office and the comm center.
Okay,
So,
excellent.
yeah. So I've talked to LCI about that, so we're all set for that. We'll be bringing their, what we'll do is we'll add the new one up at the sheriff's office about probably later this week. Just get it up or not this week, get it up and running, make sure that's good before we disconnect their existing ones, just to make sure there are no issues. The new phone system we're still working on with Consolidated. We have a site visit here on Wednesday, just to make sure that they can get the line into the building, the new fiber line. So I'll let you know how that goes. The new contract with the new rate with Consolidated, we've got in place, and that's all working well. So the next bill, we should see the $20 drop per line with that. So that will help us with the billing and the costs for that. So that's good. We did have an unforeseen cost with that new contract, not related to Consolidated, but related to the fire alarms in the buildings. So each building, minus the comm center, has a fire alarm that if the fire system or the sprinklers, it dials out to their central monitoring agency, and I think it's Johnson Controls that goes through. Each system was hard-coded to dial a 9 to get an outside line, and they had to reprogram that to remove the 9. I was hoping that we could do that ourselves, or they could walk us through it over the phone. Of course, they couldn't do that. They had to come out, and it was $150 fee to send someone out, and then $315 an hour with a 3-hour minimum. And as much as I thought that and tried to get them to not do it, they had to come out and do it. But needless to say, we should be able to get that to even out after 1 month of our savings on the phone
It's
bill.
wonderful when you run a monopoly, right?
Yeah, and that's unfortunately pretty much what the guy told me on the phone. I
Yeah.
said, you know, I really didn't want to pay that. And he said, well, what are you gonna do? You have to be up to fire code. And I
Yep,
bit my tongue and didn't say
in the
anything.
conversation.
Yeah, I didn't say anything to him, although I really wanted to. So I really wanted to tell him that we owned the 911 system and that I didn't really want to pay his fee, but I said, okay, I'll get back to you on that, and pulled off for a day or two and then called him back to schedule it. I am scheduling to, we've got deeds all straightened out, all their phone lines are working now and everything else like that. Ray is up finishing up the wiring for the new DA's space. We're waiting for the painters to get done just to put the faceplates in the wall and things like that. So we're all ready to go up there when they're ready to move. I've scheduled our recycling company to come and pick up a few old copiers at the old deed space in the old Superior Court building, just to clear those out. And I think that's all I've really got for you for today. So
Sounds good.
just trying to
Good. It sounds like
clean
you've
up
been busy.
and work on the move and get everybody ready to go when they're ready to go. So
No, perfect.
yeah,
Perfect.
so
Excellent.
I think that's all I've got for you, unless you've got any questions for me.
No, we're all set.
All right,
Well,
Thank you,
Thank you
Jason.
very much.
thank
Jason.
you.
Up to you, Bob.
Okay. I can hold off on that resolve for, from Bernstein Sheraton for that transfer, consent to transfer. I can hold off on that till Commissioner
Yeah.
Johnson's here, so. You received a letter by email from Senator Collins, just updating you. I think you folks will recall that you sent a letter of support for Penobscot Community Health Center. They've requested to build a public health dental practice and to receive funds from Senator Collins. She basically just sent an update. She has requested $1,322,000 to be included in this project for 2024. And it's passed at the Senate and House Representatives level. So the bill is now going to the president's desk to be signed, so it looks like this will go through.
Good.
I think that's all I have for you at the moment. Did you folks receive any minutes to?
If we did, I haven't had enough.
Not mine, no, it might have come from Susan, but if that doesn't ring a bell, then you may
No,
not have.
Susan.
Okay, leave that for now. So that's all I have right now.
That's all you have.
Yes, thank you.
Do we have anybody from the public that would speak today? You and you, two
Yeah.
men,
Yes.
you were in here first, so we'll let you go first.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Monica Miles. I'm a public affairs specialist with the U.S. Small Business Administration. And the SBA wants to make sure that Waldo County
and its businesses are aware that as a result of the disaster that happened back in December through the 21st of 2023, businesses and nonprofits in Waldo County can apply for a low interest rate economic injury disaster loan if they believe that they were adversely impacted by the disaster that happened, that was declared from in a neighboring county to Waldo County. An economic injury disaster loan is also called a working capital loan.
Mhm.
If the business or the nonprofit believes that it lost revenue as a direct result of the disaster, and as a result of that situation, they're not able to pay their ordinary and necessary expenses to run the business, they can apply to the SBA for the economic injury disaster loan. The deadline to apply is not until October 30th of this year. An economic injury does not require any kind of physical damage to the business, real estate, or the business other physical property. An economic injury may result from road closures, utilities being out, things of that nature happening to the as a result of the storms and floods that took place in the region. In addition, it could happen if customers, maybe some who were from surrounding counties, have not been able to make their usual purchases as a result of the disaster. Maybe employees haven't been able to get into the business, or suppliers, so that the business is not able to keep up with its ordinary functions and not able to obtain the revenue that it anticipated. And again, as a result of all of that, that they're not able to pay their bills, and they need a loan from the SBA in order to do so and maintain their business functions. So an economic injury disaster loan is geared towards keeping the business functioning. And if the business or the nonprofit is approved of a loan, that's how the funds are supposed to be used. It's not supposed to be used to if there was some physical damage to the business or nonprofit's property, it's not supposed to be used to repair building or repair vehicle or inventory or anything of that nature. It's supposed to be to pay their ordinary and necessary obligations in order to stay open. The maximum loan amount is up to $2 million. And the interest rate is low as well. For a business, the interest rate is 4%, and as low as 4%, and for a nonprofit organization, it's 3.25%. And usually these loans go to businesses and nonprofits that cannot get a loan in the regular market, and they again need to go to the SBA if they are in this particular situation. There's no interest that accrues during the first year of the loan. The first payment of the loan is not due for a period of 1 year from when the business gets the first disbursement. And also the way that these loans are structured, if a business needs additional money through this time period, the application time period, they can do so in order to make sure they're being able to pay their bills and keep their business open. The loan term is usually 30 years as well. There's no application fee. The applicant does not have to wait until hearing from their insurance company. Sometimes the business might have a business interruption insurance policy or something of that nature. The SBA would not duplicate that funds, but sometimes it takes insurance companies a while to process the claim. And if the business wanted to try to get a loan through the SBA first, they could go ahead and apply, but when they got insurance proceeds, then they can pay that towards the loan. In order to apply, an applicant can go to lending.sba.gov, and on that site, will ask basic questions. Do you want to apply for a loan? Where do you live? What county is your business? These type of things. And they'll get to the application for applying for economic injury disaster loan. In addition, if anybody had any questions, they can call the SBA at 1-800-659-2955. And if they're hearing impaired or speech impaired, they can call 711 for assistance as well. Now, the other thing that came in, and I'm going to be very short with this, is that another disaster.
Right, in
was just- right, for the time period of January 9th through the 13th. And then with respect to that particular disaster, Waldo County is one of the primary counties that was declared a disaster. So in addition to that economic injury disaster loan that's just limited to businesses and nonprofits in the county that were adversely affected economically, the homeowners and the people who rent their home and businesses and nonprofits in Waldo County with respect to the storms and flooding occurred back on between January 9th to January 13th, they can apply for a loan for property damage as well. So for a homeowner and a business and a nonprofit, that can be for the actual real estate. And for all four categories, the homeowner, the person renting their home here in the county, the business or the nonprofit in the county, they can also apply for their personal property or the business personal property, which could include for the homeowner and the renter, that's their furniture, their equipment, their supplies. It can be a vehicle, their clothing, things of that nature. For the business, it's going to be inventory, equipment. It could be a vehicle, supplies, furniture, those kind of things as well that they can apply for. Now, for the business, they still have the maximum business and the nonprofit, they still have the maximum loan amount of $2 million, up to $2 million. For the person who has their primary home here in the county, for the real estate, it's a loan maximum of $500,000. And for the contents of the home or the vehicle, it's up to $100,000. And for the person renting their home here in the county, it's up to $100,000 for them with respect to clothing, furniture, and all of those type of things. Now, for the homeowner and the renter, that interest rate again is low as well. It's 2.688%. And for the nonprofit, it's 3.25%. That's the lowest level. It can go up under certain circumstances. And then as well, I'm sorry, for the nonprofit doesn't go up, it would remain at 3.25%. And for the business, it's 4%, but that can increase to double 8% if they're a business that could really get a loan on the open market as well. And all of the other features apply as well with respect to the property damage. Again, that's no application fee. You do not have to wait for a settlement with your insurance company. For homeowners and renters who apply to FEMA, they don't have to wait for a FEMA decision as well. They can go ahead and apply it at any time. There's no interest accrues during the first year of the loan, and the first payment on the loan is not due for a period of a year as well. And with that delay, that really gives applicants, people who were affected by the disaster adversely, an opportunity to try to recover
Get back on your feet.
Right,
Yeah.
get back on their feet, exactly. And if they're in a situation where a year later they're able to pay off the loan, they could even do that.
Oh.
And then also if anybody applies and they decide later that they don't need the loan, if they're approved for it, they don't have to accept the loan. There's no, there's no requirements. There's no penalty for
I was just
paying.
gonna ask if there was a penalty for paying early.
No penalty for paying early. They can do that as well. So it's to try to help people out if, and businesses and nonprofits out, if the insurance proceeds that they may receive or any kind of fund from FEMA or similar organizations or government offices is not sufficient for them to recover and they need to take out a loan, they can go to the US Small Business Administration to apply for the low interest rate disaster loan.
This is incredible information that you provided us with, seriously. Monica, I mean, is this something that we should consider posting on our website?
Yes,
That may
we
help?
would ask that if you could post it on your website, that would be great. And I'll put some
Good.
You
flyers.
know what I mean?
We've talked to Jason.
Yeah, we'll ask our technology guru, who I know can hear me. But, no, this really is great information. I'm very familiar with the SBA, so
Okay, great.
I have no other questions for you, Monica, but
Okay,
I greatly
All
appreciate.
set?
And thank you for the
That's it,
work you
that's it.
folks have been doing
Yeah.
up here.
okay, great. Thank
Appreciate you
you.
for coming in.
All right, thank you all. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right, Guy, we're ready for you.
Good day, sir.
Good morning. My name is John Beal. I live in Belfast. I'm here as a member of the public. Last week, I want to talk about hazardous waste disposal.
Okay.
Last week, I was at a Belfast City Council meeting and the waste transfer director got authorization to do a public collection of hazardous waste. And a big issue came up about how to charge non-residents, because apparently a lot of people outside of Belfast use Belfast facilities for dumping. And that raised to me a question about why we don't consider a broader, perhaps countywide idea of collection, because the other towns in this county don't have a hazardous waste collection. So as a result, they either come to Belfast or they do the bad thing.
Yep.
And that's not good for our groundwater. And it seems to me that the county approach might be a useful way to think about it. I'm just here to mention that to you and to tell you that I think it'd be a great idea to consider.
No, I actually do. I think it's a good idea to consider or talk about or find out. I wasn't even familiar with how the process worked, so.
Well, they have to hire an outside.
Excuse me just a minute. Do you have something you?
Yeah, so in reference to this about hazardous waste, your council of governments like KB cog.
Yep.
They used to offer a hazardous waste day, which the towns would pay for,
Mhm.
and then the individual going could use their service. And I'm familiar with it for past towns that I worked at, because we used to apply or sign up to do it. We'd hire somebody for a day to check off.
I do recall, yep.
But that is another option as well. As I was listening, I just wanted to add.
But the city of
that-
Belfast doesn't do anything like that.
Well, what Belfast is doing is they're spending $1,800 to hire a private contractor to come for 4 hours. And if that contractor collects any waste, they have to pay in addition $31.50 a gallon, or the same for 20 pounds of waste. So it's expensive, and it's a one-shot deal, once a year. And it clearly probably doesn't penetrate into the market of people who have old gas and oil in their garage. It strikes me that if there was a broader approach to it, and people had more opportunities to dump their stuff and more information about it, it might be better for our groundwater. But I don't know if the COG is still functioning with us.
All right.
Yeah, I think we could look into it and see how it's implemented, especially almost in other counties. I mean, we have 4 or 5 other like counties size-wise as us. I mean, we
Yeah.
can kind of see what they're doing. And
look
how
at
they're
the-
doing it.
Council, at the websites for all the towns of Waldo, and you ask about hazardous waste, they basically say, you know, ask the state where to dump. There's a place in Lewiston, a place in Portland, which
Yeah.
doesn't do anything for us.
Well, yeah, that's not helpful,
No.
but I mean, Carrie, our finance director is right. I can remember living in a small town and you got that notice. You know, once a year, and that's when you gathered up all that crap that you didn't know how you could get rid of. So, cause it is, that's unfortunate, especially if one municipality is start carrying the burden. So, well, I think we could probably do some looking into
Yeah,
it. Huh, that'd be a
have
cool,
a discussion.
huh, thank you very much, Mr. Beal.
Is that it?
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir, have a good day.
Thank you for doing the service. You're welcome. We've got, we're gonna have a break now, but we could call Mike and get him down here a little
I
early.
did see him earlier down here, but he's probably left. I did see him for a minute.
Bob, can we call?
He is here.
Hey,
Thank you, Mike. I thought I saw you.
Mike, I gotta have a short break and come in.
So, I don't have good news. I don't like coming to you guys with bad news, but we're not gonna be done by the end of March up there. They've been tearing right into it and doing what they can, but right now they're finishing up drywall and doing painting. And that's probably gonna take us close to the end of the week. Next week, the first week of April, they're looking to finish the receptacles and telecom and suspended ceiling. And then the following week is the earliest they can get in the flooring people. They're gonna do flooring that week. And it's right behind them, they'll be finishing with light fixtures and putting in the toilet, the sink and ADA fixtures, but it's gonna be probably about 2 weeks into April. There's some things that as they finish, we might be able to start moving stuff into spaces. But, I'll have to talk with Jason about the whole IT business. I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal because it's an existing plant, for it, but just move on.
I'm not interrupt. I just don't know if you guys wanna move your cars, that ice is starting to come off the roof
Oh,
and landing right on that edge there.
oh, you mind if I go move my car?
No, go for it.
Is my car all right?
Yeah, it's in the same, all that ice is starting to come off the roof and crash right there in front of the cars. I just don't want one of them to get hit.
So,
Would you take?
Betty's
it
and
mine?
yours.
do you want me to move your car? I can
Me and
see
Bill
what-
parked in a different place, so,
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just don't want,
no, thank you.
If it's falling off, I thought I parked back enough, but, take care of your car.
Oh, okay, I'll be right back, sorry.
So I guess my thought is, Dale, don't come to me with a problem. What's your solution? Have you talked, I mean, what do you think? Can they move and people work around them? Or are you suggesting that we notify the city that they're still gonna be sitting?
By the city, because, without the flooring in there, we can't put furniture and all
Yeah,
that kind
yeah,
of stuff.
yeah.
on there.
Yeah.
That's the biggie. But that's gonna be 2 weeks in April.
I mean, at this point, I guess my thought is, remember, the city came to us and said, hey, can we move somebody into the Superior Court building with their Parks and Rec person? Even though it's not their building yet, and it's like.
Yeah, I mean, most of the building's empty.
Yeah.
It's not like they're gonna do anything with it tomorrow. I don't
Yeah,
think.
so I mean, I wouldn't have a problem saying to Aaron, it's gonna be about 2 weeks before the flooring's done.
Yeah.
And seeing as where we pay for every freaking permit and everything else we get from the city.
Yeah. It took us almost as long to do the permitting with the city as it is doing the construction.
I mean, what do you think, Bill? We
So I
can't,
think,
we can't move them if the floors aren't done.
well, Belfast shouldn't complain, because I understand they're moving some of their stuff
Into
over
our building,
in our building.
but that's what I mean. So I mean, what do you think? Do you wanna call Aaron? or should we have-
I'd call Aaron.
Yeah, or have Barb call Aaron and just say, hey, here's a heads up. You're moving shit into the building and we're fine with that. But for the time being, our guys are gonna have to stay in there. It's gonna have to be like a skeleton crew or a skeleton office, because for the most part, we need to get out everything that we
Is
can.
mine okay?
I don't know how to judge. If he could, he showed me where some fell down in front of your car, but if I could just back it up another foot, people
Okay,
can still get by.
This is the problem.
Yeah, okay, thank you, excuse me.
Yeah, there's only, well, it's just one side of the first floor.
Yeah,
The rest of the deeds is out, and
Yeah.
everybody else is out.
I mean,
That's
that's what I'm thinking.
They're
For God's sake.
concentrating on the office space for the the DA's county staff first. They're gonna try to get that done. So once that flooring is done, we can start moving stuff into that space and this work that's gonna continue on after they've moved in. We've kind of allocated it so that, or aligned it so that the stuff that's most important for them to hit on is the stuff for them, but the flooring guys, they're tied up elsewhere.
Oh, yeah, no,
They
no,
won't
I
be able
know.
to start until 8 April. So 8 or 9 April, they should finish with that area. We could start moving in,
Yeah.
and they're gonna move to like the classroom and the other spaces to do
Yeah.
the flooring in there.
So are you saying, Dale, it'll be April 24th before we can get done completely with
So-
that building?
Well, completely done with the Superior Court
Yeah.
building. Let me bring up my calendar here. So. We should hopefully be able to completely turn over to them sometime around the 15th.
15th of April?
Yeah.
All right,
Let's go with it, let's do it.
yeah,
And we're not paying rent either, I mean. we're
no, we'll make a deal.
Yeah. As
No,
I
but
say, we pay for all
I
our
was hoping
permits.
the first part of this month, things were going, but as we get closer,
I'm sure there's
we're
things
getting the
that
crunch
they
time,
have
and
to
we're just
do
not gonna make it.
In there.
Well, and as I say,
themselves.
look at how long we waited for permits and everything else from the city. So we've done all that we can. So,
There's the schedule that I just wanna give you for what has been done so far and what we got left. I don't know if you had a chance to see it. You would know that there had been a garage there at some point.
uh,
And right now they're painting, or they should have finished up painting most of it last week. They're finishing up beginning of this week with the painting. No, I wanted to,
So you say the 15th, Dale?
that's what I'm gonna shoot for.
Hmm.
And I think we'll start moving some out before then, but. You know, they may all be out until then, until the 15th.
no.
It's gonna be rough for them in that week or so timeframe, just like it was for deeds. you know.
Exactly, it is what it
Where-
is. So
Make-
at this point, seeing as where Barb hasn't been in here, we're gonna, is Barb notifying them? I think Barb should know. She's a likable person. The city of Belfast, at the DA's office will not be moved out of that building until the 15th of April.
At the earliest.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because I mean, if we didn't have to wait 6 weeks for some of our permits from the city, we probably could have been moving a little faster, but it is what it is, and thank you
Okay.
very much.
I think, Bob, that they've moved some stuff in
Yes.
our
That's what I've
building
heard.
already, so I don't think,
I think it'll be okay. Well, I'll do that as soon as we're done.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
You know, I think this week, some of that sliding files thing, I think it's supposed to get moved up this week.
Eric was doing that this morning.
It's not going, it didn't need the flooring underneath it, it's gonna go right on the concrete, and then
Yeah.
we'll do the flooring around it.
Yeah.
So that can go down. Everything that we can get up there, as soon as we can move it, we're going to.
Hmm.
But. The flooring kind of puts a kibosh on a lot of things.
That's okay. Totally get it.
And there's one other thing I had here. I got my list. Oops, that's. Oh, I don't know if Mike or Finance brought it forward, but we have some Homeland Security monies that isn't gonna get used for what it was originally intended. And so we're doing modifications. We did the one for the airsoft guns
Mhm.
and equipment. They've got another one. Oops. they want to buy some of those blue guns and some other things, and some munitions, training ammunition. And so we're going through the process of getting modifications done. But they'll have to pay for it up front out of details or something. And then once we have the cash check for proof of payment, then we can submit for reimbursement and we get the money back and it goes back into those accounts. But it's kind of part two of what we came to, I think, a month ago, about some other training equipment that they're getting in their Homeland Security. Normally, I can pay for it out of my LPC checking account, but there's not a lot in there. And so it's gonna be taken out of their detail account. And because it has to be an in and out account. I just want to let you know, if they're coming forward with bills, that's what it's all about. It will be reimbursed by Homeland Security. It's usually taking about 4 to 6 weeks to get reimbursement from the state. And then you may have gotten notice, we got activated yesterday for the storm. We had about 22 roads closed and about 14,000 people out of power.
Yeah.
We're down to around 2,500 for power right now, and all the roads are back and open. Absolutely amazing coordination with CMP this time. They brought a guy in just to do that, as opposed to I'm dealing with a guy in the field who's like, yeah, hold on a second. I had a guy just dedicated to us.
Really, that came right to your location?
Well, he worked out of the Belfast office, but we've got that D4H tool that we use,
Yes.
and they logged in and they're using it now.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so
Awesome,
I
Dale.
never had to send them a list of roads to work on. They just logged in the system, saw what was up next on the list and went and did it.
Awesome.
So that improved greatly. But we had a after action meeting after the summer storm with CMP down in Augusta. And I brought up the fact that the liaison program wasn't working as well as it had originally started out as being. And lo and behold, we got a guy dedicated just to work with us on coordinating what needed to be done next. And so, yeah, they got all the roads. They finished up this morning with the last road open, which is remarkable considering it does within 24 hours.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they've gone, like I said, from 14,000 down to 2,500 on people who are out.
Oh,
But there were a number of people. It was a coastal thing. It was Lincolnville, Northport, Belfast, Searsport, and Stockton that were the hardest hit.
yeah.
So
Good job.
they had to cancel school for the second time in RSU 71 because no internet.
Oh,
Can you believe that? They cannot do school now without the internet. But their lesson plans are online, their sign-in rosters for kids and staff are online, and everything's online. Gradings.
Static.
It goes down and they cancel schools.
We should have been so lucky, Dale.
Thank you, Dale.
Thank you.
Thank you very, very
Have a
much.
good day.
Yep.
You grab Miss Carey as you walk by her office, Dale. What's our last executive session?
I think an ask for something.
I really gotta keep moving, guys. This has
Well, I could
been
think,
delightful.
I think we could put it off if we,
Okay.
all right, Carrie.
Why you got all that paperwork, Carrie?
I'll make it speedy.
Well,
Well, I said good morning, but it's good afternoon, I think now.
good day.
So earlier today, I put packets on at your stations.
Oh.
In that packet, you should have your jail and county appropriation report, your reserve account, which was of last week, your health plan. That was as of last week. They had to take out another $43,000. That brought our health plan down to $201,000. March health plan has been transferred. If we have not transferred that, our health fund would be down to $60,000.
Oh my God, can I just scream that out loud?
Yeah, so I looked at the spreadsheet and I took out March's health plan. We did receive $18,000 from Maritime for reimbursement, and we have $700 as well. So even without those reimbursements, you'd still be
32,000 in that ballpark, so. It's important to transfer those funds. I am worried, what it's going to do. Continue, moving forward. You also have a detailed garden report in that packet that I gave you. That was as of last week with all of the checks that were being issued. I'll give you a copy of this, Barb, because I'm gonna rattle off some numbers. Today, our county balance in First National Bank is $103,458.46. The county has spent 24% of the budget. Figure that's about where we should be, at 25, so I feel comfortable that spending is on track. Our First National Bank jail balance as of today is $180,187.29. Jail has spent 23% of the budget. Again, I feel like we're on track. They should also have spent about a quarter of their budget. I received an email from the National Opioid Settlement. We received $17,770.79. Those funds will be transferred with your permission to the opioid account that we have.
Yes, I think we need to start getting creative with that. Yeah.
Knox funds for 911 reimbursements, we are up to date. They have been mailed out for February and we have received February, so that helps our account a little bit. We have a copy of the risk management pool for December 2022 and 2021. I only have one copy of it and I didn't know if you wanted to take a look at it. Is their financial statements. You also have a copy of an email from Cody Late who talked about purchasing some items for $4,000. I am asking permission to issue a check so that he can purchase those items when he is ready to do so. He was hoping to do that last week. Unfortunately, weather got in the way.
I'll make that motion.
No, second.
Bill,
No.
Then my other piece is my warrants, and then I do need a net in here. Yeah, I'm gonna have a net come in.
She's behind.
She's
you.
behind me. Okay, there's two things that I'm gonna talk about while Annette's in here. Do you want me to do that now or do you want to wait?
Yeah, no, let's do it, right? Let's
Annette?
do it, Letty.
So the first thing, mileage rate.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Union contracts are a couple of them are very specific. I think I emailed you as well. So I need guidance on how you'd like to move forward, and our handbook also has verbiage in there that probably should be updated.
So literally, I think I replied back to your email when you mentioned that about the union contracts, and I was like, seriously, like, aren't they driving county vehicles? So what should the mileage rate really matter to them? But leave it to us to have contracts that dictate stuff like that. So at the end of the day, I mean, just answer this for me, and I don't know about Bill and Betty. I mean, are we gonna get screwed because we were trying to do the right thing and stay with last year's mileage? Or do we have to just adopt the newest IRS mileage rates, even though everybody else in the world is going either status quo or state?
So if you read the contracts, it clearly states that you have to use the current IRS rate.
Say the same.
No.
And our handbook also says current IRS rate.
All right, then it is what it is. I think it's stupid. I'm grateful it's being recorded and it shows, because I think I think in a time when everybody is trying to scrimp and scribe, and of course we try to do, a good deed, and
We can try making changes going forward, but for right now, until those changes happen, like we can update the handbook to not tether the handbook to the IRS.
Yeah,
by just
yeah, I
saying,
guess,
we
well, we're
can
trying to
start that
update
process.
policies, then that needs to be one of them, and the next time contracts come up, I mean, But as I said, I just get a kick out of it. They're driving county vehicles, I don't know.
A majority of them, so it's only going to impact the folks that we send for training, for example, comm centers or whatnot.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, so you'll be going from 0.655 miles per hour to 0.67.
Miles per
I mean,
hour.
You'd be really puttering along.
She's speeding right along.
I'm focused, yep.
Yep, that's what we will.
Before I go on to the travel policy, there's one more thing. I just want clarification. We have an employee that's been working for the DA's office, going through files, old files, scanning them. Confirmation is, are those funds supposed to be coming out of 0223?
Say that again.
Are the funds for the employee who's scanning the,
The part-time employee that we hired for 6 weeks to assist the DA's office, yes, why not? 0223,
okay,
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
Yep.
Was that a motion last time? And should you make that a motion now?
I think it needs to be a motion. I did make a motion the last time, and so this is a motion too.
we're just reaffirming that motion and I am secondly
All in favor?
reaffirming it.
okay,
Thank you.
thank
All
you.
right, so then the last thing, Annette and I have been working on the travel policy for your request. That is before you. I've emailed it to you. My only question is, would you like, before you make a motion on it, or if you have any corrections, should we also be having our department heads review it?
No. And the only reason why I say that is because I think at times less is more.
Okay,
We asked you guys to come up with a travel policy. You did exactly what we said. You talked to local agencies, state, and everything else to pull this together. And I know I appreciate it, and the department heads are busy enough as it is. So, I mean, I think they did a bang-up job on it,
I think so too.
you know? I'm prepared to make a motion today that this go into effect, as of April 1.
I'll second.
All in favor?
That's the next question.
Done.
So then the
you.
question then becomes, if it's effective once, that would include anyone that is going to be traveling, regardless if they've already submitted their invoicing to attend a particular conference in April, May, and so forth, they still will have to fill out these forms.
Well, they still have to fill out the forms anyway, and they still have to follow this. Most likely, they probably booked air travel or whatever. We can't change that, but, as I say, you guys did a really good job on this.
Okay, so then we have a department head meeting on Thursday morning and we'll roll it out.
Okay,
And then we'll
Good.
follow up with an
Good.
email to all staff or however they want to roll it out to their staff. They may want to,
I
but
was gonna say, but again, I think we make more work than we need to. So you discuss it with the department heads and explain it to them, and it is up to a department head to inform,
Good.
their folks. I think they'll be really pleased with it because it gives guidance. I
Yeah.
know over the years, we've had people come to us and are just like, what? So I mean, I
I
think
mean,
this,
that's part of being a department head.
yeah, no, I think this is, you guys did a great job.
it's great
So-
timing because it is Thursday.
Cool.
So I think I just to what Carrie's asking me is the mileage rate for the handbook. Is that what you're, you're giving me approval to modify that now? Because I can do an addendum and change that to remove the IRS.
God bless you, Bill. You're choking on the M&M like I was. You're choking on your water here.
Water.
I got one I haven't.
Give me water.
I didn't lick it, I promise. So, I guess what we're saying in that is, you guys did a great job on the travel policy. And we're saying, seeing as where we can't change the mileage like we wanted to save the taxpayers of Waldo County a few bucks. That maybe that be the next policy that you guys work on and.
It is, and
And,
it works right now with the, okay, so then the travel policy will update the section in the handbook to include the travel policy.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Yep. What else, Carrie?
And my final thing is just the warrants.
You're supposed to say, are you ready?
I rather not.
Going 68.5 miles an hour.
I'd rather give you the element of surprise. I will start with. I'll start with jail. Your accounts payable is $187,590.81. Payroll was $46,674.19. For a grand total of $234,265.
So moved.
Second, on favor?
County accounts payable is $312,475.36. Payroll was $171,925.66. For a total of $484,401.02.
So moved.
Second.
Second,
I did second, I'm sorry,
all
second.
in favor? Where's the,
Signature.
Oh, is it not on that one?
No, it isn't, Carrie.
Oh,
Yeah, could help though.
no.
let me go,
Awful what you-
let me go put one off.
I mean, we can always write on the bottom of this paper.
If you want to, go right ahead. If you want to approve it.
Yeah.
And then I can write your name, I'll type, print your names under.
I'm let down.
I'm sorry.
Do you feel defeated?
Not today.
You will.
I figure I already gave you the bad news of, more than $500,000 worth.
Thank you very much. Do you have anything else for us?
No, I do not. I am all set.
Thank you,
I
Carrie.
told you I'd make it as quick as I could.
This is what, the wrist pulls?
Yeah.
I get one of these sent to my home.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, and Malcolm sends it to me at home.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay, that's okay. Keep it there. Maybe I'll read this one. I didn't read that one.
I'm gonna be quick here, so we can go right into my executive session.
Oh, that's right. You would just want me to stay right here?
Yeah.
Don't forget, I've got to get you to sign that consent to transfer.
And don't forget, you better put it up here, because I'm busting out of here right off.
I will give it to you right now. I think you have to read it off or follow the vote pattern or whatever it is. You want to just.
I have the HR report.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
I have an executive session request. I'll be quick though.
All right, motion to go into executive session, Title 14056F.
I'll second
Public,
it.
non-public.
All in favor?
Yep.
Okay.